Hey there, VC. This is Vinyl Talk with Tavis, and I'm Tavis. I'm here to come to you to talk about some more vinyl that I have. There's a specific subscriber of mine. His name is Memphis Vinyl, Jim and the Missus. He wrote a post that in my previous video, I didn't really have a lot of male artists in my collection that I shared. So this video is going to be about mostly or all male R&B artists that I have on vinyl so far. Now, of course, this is not all the male artists that I enjoy. There are so many, and I have so much more vinyl to get. A lot that I have in mind right now, but this is what I have so far. And so let me start with Mr. Lionel Richie. Of course, you know him. He came from the Commodores, and this was his debut album. I believe it came in 1982. That's right. And the songs that I love the most, of course, are Truly and You Are the Sun, You Are the Rain that makes my life this foolish game. Okay, I'm a singer, so I'm always singing something. So if you hear me singing a lot, just bear with me, okay? But those are the songs that I love the most from Lionel Richie on this album. I think it is a marvelous album. It was really hard for me and my family at the time to understand why he left the Commodores. But so when I listen to this album, I still think that it's the Commodores singing with him. That's just how my mind worked at that time. And here is the album itself from Motown. And, you know, I think a friend gave this to me, if I'm not mistaken. A good friend of mine, a colleague, gave this to me with a lot of other records that I'll share with you sometime later. But I'm very proud of this. The next album I have is Earth, Wind, and Fire, I Am. Now, this is their 9th studio album from 1979. And of course, it features the great hit Boogie Wonderland with the Emotions. In my previous video, I talked about the Emotions. I just love those ladies. They just had that powerful soprano voices. And of course, they did Boogie Wonderland. Now, my favorite song on this album has to be Can't Let Go. It just comes right in your face, and when I'm driving in my car, I'll listen to it from my Spotify account. Great album all the way, and I just love the gatefold. It has to be turned like this. So large, and they were just bigger than life. Remember those bands back in the 70s, and there were just like 12, 13, 14, 15 of them on stage playing a variety of instruments. I don't see that happening these days, and so this is a treasure. I love Earth, Wind, and Fire. My next album that I have here is, I wasn't aware of Al Jarreau's Look to the Rainbow live album. It's a double LP set, and I wasn't aware until I went to it was just a thrift store, and I went to the record section, and it was for $1. And I didn't even know about this. And I took it home and played it. I was in Al Jarreau heaven. It was done in 1977. It was considered a breakthrough for him, success-wise, and it won a Grammy in 1978 for Best Jazz Vocal Performance. And, you know, he passed away, I think, a couple of years ago, if not a year ago. And he just really set the bar and just transcended all kinds of musical boundaries, genres that is. And this is a great album to have if you're a jazz lover. And yeah, I'm really happy to own this. In fact, I own 2 copies. This I just spoke about Earth, Wind, and Fire. You have to get the Earth, Wind, and Fire, the best of Earth, Wind, and Fire. I bought this at Target, if I'm not mistaken. It was, what, $23, $22. It has all their hits: Got to Get You Into My Life, Sing a Song, Shining Star, Get Away, Can't Hide Love, Fantasy, That's the Way of the World, Reasons, September, Do You Remember, 21st Night of September, Love Music. And yeah, I was very glad to get this. It's a reissue. To me, it doesn't matter if it's a reissue as long as it sounds good on my turntable. You know what I'm saying? So I was very happy to get this. Okay. Alrighty. This is a reissue too. But, if you don't have this, if you don't have this album, if you don't have this, I'm going to reach through the screen and grab your head. No, you've got to have this. Marvin Gaye's What's Going On. People, this is a fantastic, I don't even have notes for this. This is just a fantastic album. I just heard that Berry Gordy he didn't want nothing to do with this album. He thought the concept was awful, but Marvin Gaye had a vision and he just put it all together. And I love how every song just goes into the next. There's really no fade away. It just goes into the next song. It was just a fantastic, fantastic record. To this day, it's one of my top 10 albums of all time. I've always been a Marvin Gaye fan. I mean, what can you say? You just need to own this if you don't have it. Just a great, great artist all the way around. And I have another record of his. Let me show this to you. This was his final studio album, Midnight Love. Now, he was 42, I believe, when he did this album, and it was his final album because his father, tragically, shot him 2 years later. And that's just a story within itself. But this record features Midnight Lady, Sexual Healing. That was the cut that came out, or that was released from this record first. And, you know, in the 80s, I was a little boy, of course, and hearing the word sexual, or just the word sex in general, I love saying that word now. Sex, 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 sex. Sexual healing was like such a taboo in our household, it seemed. And I was afraid to listen to it at that time. But now I'm like, hey, play Sexual Healing right now. I want to have some sexual healing right now. That's what that song stands for. I mean, the video was whack or wacko, but it was just a great song back in the day, and still is. You know, it begins with wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, or it starts with get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. Yeah, something like that. You know the song. But this is a great album. Midnight Lady, Sexual Healing, Rocking After Midnight. I have a good friend who, he passed away last year, but I worked with him, and he would tell me stories about how he would go to the clubs and they would play the song Midnight Lady or Rocking After Midnight, and he said they would just be jamming and, you know, doing the marijuana and the cocaine thing. I never been into that, but he said this album really helped them to get going with those drugs and stuff. I'm like, well, okay. I just listened to the music and danced. I didn't do all those things, but this is a great album. I don't advocate drugs, but whatever makes you happy, okay? You know what? I went to the thrift store and found this. I recently saw him on The View, Mr. Charley Pride. Charley Pride is, he was the first African American to sing country music at the Grand Ole Opry. I think it was 52 years ago in January of this year, 2019. And this is a great album. Charley Pride is a wonderful singer. Can you please write down some songs that you know of Charley Pride? I can't think of offhand, but this album is just full of great songs. You can see right there. It's great music. And this was in 1973. Nice looking guy, wasn't he? He still is. He looks good for his age. He's 84 years old now, 2019, at this time. So I'm glad to get this record. On the back, it just has all of his other albums. You know how they did back in the day. They promoted their other albums on the back. Awesome album, only cost $1 at the thrift store, and I got it. Okay, I have another Spinners album, which is from, in my other video, I showed you a Spinners album, and I bought this. I think it cost $1 as well at a thrift store, and it's called Mighty Love. And this is a great album too, and it features, of course, Philippe Wynne. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Felipe or Philip. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just going by the seat of my pants here. When he and Bobby Smith sing the song Mighty Love, you really don't know who's singing what. Their voices sounded so much alike. But at the end, you know it's Felipe. When he really gets into that gospel feel, mighty, 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 mighty love Jones coming down on me, yeah, yeah. Hey, baby. Woo! And it's just a go-getter. One thing about the Spinners albums, you see that it's an all-male group, but I hear lots of women in the background vocals. That was always strange to me, and I don't know why they did that. I guess it was to fill out the sound, but when they're on stage singing live, if you watch their YouTube videos, you don't hear those women and it sounds a little thin. But yeah, there were a lot of women singing with them, but you don't see those women with them on stage. But a great album to have, Mighty Love by the Spinners. These next two albums are from Lou Rawls. I'm going to just put them both up for you. This is called Lou Rawls Live, and this is Lou Rawls Soulin'. I put these up together because they were both released in 1966. I think this was one of the first, album that I got when I started collecting vinyl again last year. It was only $1. And it's really crackly sounding and it's not in the best quality. But for some reason, I enjoy that crackle sound with the live recording. It seems like it doesn't really diminish the quality. To me, it almost adds to the atmosphere of the live recording. And the songs are mostly standards like Stormy Monday, Tobacco Road, I'd Rather Drink Muddy Water, The Girl from Ipanema, I Got It Bad and That Ain't Good. Good songs on here, and it's just a great, it seems like you're in like a dark bar and you hear Lou Rawls singing and someone recorded it. It sounds really good to me. And this Lou Rawls Soulin', this is a studio recording from 1966. And this is a great album to have as well. It has a whole lot of woman. I like that blues sound that he brings out. Love is a hurting thing, so hard to laugh, so easy to cry. You're the One. Yeah, I like that. You're the One. Don't Explain. What Now, My Love. Memory Lane. Old Man's Memories. It Was a Very Good Year. Growing Old Gracefully. Old Folks. Autumn Leaves. On a Clear Day. And Breaking My Back. So this is a great one to have as well from Lou Rawls. Okay, my last one here. You can't get enough of Barry White. I still have it in its shrink wrap. I haven't taken it out. I purchased this from eBay, brand new, sealed. I think it's a reissue. It says it's, says it's made in Czech Republic. I didn't know that until I just put this up. Wow. But remember when Barry White always had these long songs in the 70s, and so on the first side you just have 3 songs. Mellow Mood is just instrumental. Dun, 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 dun. Just good stuff. And of course, You're the First, the Last, My Everything, and I Can't Believe You Love Me. Side 2, Can't Get Enough of Your Love, Babe. Oh Love, Well, We Finally Made It. And I Love You More Than Anything. I really like that. Love that. And Mellow Mood Part 2. This is a phenomenal record to have, ladies and gentlemen. My vinyl community, you should have this in your record collection if you are an R&B lover. Well, that's all I have for right now. And so I look forward to bringing you more great videos. I have some great ideas. I have some wild purchases that I bought. Something that I probably would not normally buy if they were on CD or cassette. But just because it was on vinyl, I bought it. And so I want to share that with you. And I want to share my jazz collection with you as well. That's going to be a good one. So I'll leave this with you. With music, be inspired and stay inspired.